Hello, I'm Sneha Koshi. After spending 100 days in prison, Shiv Sena MP Sanjay Raut was released from Mumbai's Arthur Road jail earlier this evening, hours after he was granted bail by a court in an alleged money laundering case filed by the Enforcement Directorate. Not only is it surprising that the Sena MP got bail from a lower court, which is a rare thing to happen under the stringent provisions of Prevention of Money Laundering Act, the court in fact sharply rebuked the Enforcement Directorate for arresting the politician for no reason with a pick and choose attitude. The ED moved to have stayed in the High Court, which also refused to stay the bail. Raut was welcomed by elated Shiv Sena workers, and in his trademark theatrics, Mr. Rawat greeted his followers with, these triumphant gestures and celebrations broke out outside Shiv Sena Bhavan and Mr. Rawat's residence. He also visited Siddhivinayak Temple. Sanjay Raut understands the power of visuals and gave ample opportunity to cameras. There you see Mr. Raut at Balasaheb Thackeray's memorial. He spoke to the media. Listen in.
जो ऑब्जर्वेशन है वो सामने आया है। हमने हमारे जिंदगी में कभी गलत काम नहीं किया है। एक दूसरे से राजनीतिक मतभेद होते रहेंगे, डेमोक्रेसी। लेकिन मैंने 100 दिन से भी ज्यादा दिन जेल में काटे, मैं कभी भूलूंगा नहीं। लेकिन मेरी किसी के खिलाफ गिला शिकवा नहीं है। मुझे हमारी देश की न्याय व्यवस्था ने न्याय दिया है और मैं हमारी न्याय व्यवस्था का आभारी।
And the court today, in fact, while granting bail to Sanjay Raut, has made scathing allegations against the Enforcement Directorate, scathing remarks. And let's read some of them to you. Sanjay Raut arrested for no reason. Disparity, pick and choose attitude of Enforcement Directorate cannot simply label pure civil disputes with money laundering economic offences, cannot drag an innocent person in a miserable situation in the guise of arrest. Judicial principles that guide the court cannot be ignored. Sanjay Raut, Praveen Raut, both illegally arrested. These were some of the strong statements from the court today against the Enforcement Directorate. And moving on, Nirav Modi, the diamond businessman from Gujarat who fled India after allegedly cheating a government bank of over 11,000 crore rupees, is a step closer to being extradited to India from the UK. He lost the appeal in London High Court today. The court said, "We are far from satisfied that Mr. Modi's mental condition and the risk of suicide are such that it would be either unjust or oppressive to extradite him."
Nirav Modi, as per the process, as per the legal system, that he still has an option to move Supreme Court. But in this particular case, as per the UK's judicial system, only if there is any point of law, a question of law involved, only in that particular case, the High Court will give permission for the particular person to move to approach the Supreme Court. But in this particular case, because it's purely a case of extradition and there is no question of law involved, because Nirav Modi has not challenged the UK Extradition Act per se. In fact, his limited ground before the UK division bench during the written appeal was on medical ground, and that's why our sources in the agency say that it's unlikely that Nirav Modi will be given an opportunity to move the Supreme Court. But that's not the only opportunity which Nirav Modi likely to use, because even in the case of Vijay Mallya, even he also wanted to move Supreme Court, but the High Court refused to give him the permission to move the Supreme Court, UK Supreme Court. But Vijay Mallya had opted, he applied for political asylum in UK, and that's why the entire process got delayed. Even now our agencies don't know what is the status status of his extradition, and that's where agency sources are very wary that even Nirav Modi will be trying to use the same opportunity, trying to move the UK authorities with a political asylum request, because if that's if he moves for that opportunity, if he moves for that strategy, then that will get things complicated, because our agencies, we will not have any say in this particular process, and that's why our agency sources say that they are in touch with the UK authorities in order to ensure that he does not get this entire process any more delayed.
And it's of course the election season. In the Himachal Assembly elections, the BJP appears to be locked in a fight with its own rebels along with the Congress. One of them has claimed that he even got a call from Prime Minister Modi but had to turn down his request. These rebels meanwhile lay the blame squarely at party's president JP Nadda's door. Saurabh Shukla reports.
This audio recording of Prime Minister Modi's phone conversation with former BJP MP and now rebel candidate Kripal Parmar has gone viral in Himachal Pradesh. Parmar, who is now contesting as an independent from the Fatehpur seat, blamed party chief JP Nadda for his rebellion.
मोदी जी, मैंने नड्डा जी ने मेरे को इतना जलील किया 15 साल 40-42 साल में जिस आदमी ने कुछ नहीं मांगा, जो मिल गया तो मिल गया, नहीं मिला तो नहीं मिला, जिस आदमी ने कोई विवाद नहीं खड़ा किया, जिस पर कोई आरोप नहीं है, शांति से शालीनता से पार्टी का काम करता है। मुझे इतना मारा गया कि मेरा एहसास खत्म हो गया। मैंने उस दिन मोदी जी को भी कहा कि अगर आपका ये कॉल एक दिन पहले आ जाता, क्योंकि 29 को विड्रॉल थी 3 बजे तक, अगर 3 बजने को 5 मिनट में भी आ जाता तो मैं उनकी बात पूरी भी ना सुनता, मैं कहता जी हो गया और मैं विड्रॉ कर लेता।
Parmar is not the only rebel headache for the BJP. There are as many as 21 rebels contesting across the state, which includes 3 sitting and 5 former MLAs, most of them pointing fingers at JP Nadda. For JP Nadda, this is a prestige election in his home state. He has held as many as 50 meetings in the last 20 days. Here at Simla's famous Mall Road, Mr. Nadda is seen doing a door-to-door campaign. The Congress has had a more low-key campaign and hopes the rebel factor will help.
अभी उस दिन प्रधानमंत्री जी बात कर रहे थे परमार साहब, बैठ जाओ। परमार साहब ने अपना दुख व्यक्त किया, 15 साल नड्डा जी ने मुझे तंग किया है। सब लोगों ने वीडियो देखा है। नड्डा साहब से नाराज हो गए 21 लोग बागी हो भारतीय जनता पार्टी में चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं। आज तक तो सीट है 21 लोग बागी लड़ रहे हैं।
JP Nadda is not leaving any stone unturned in Himachal Pradesh. This is the biggest challenge, a prestige battle for JP Nadda, because Himachal Pradesh is his home state. If BJP loses, then it's going to be a setback individually for JP Nadda, because party has again made its mind to give JP Nadda one more chance as a party president. In Shimla, with Ashok Mahale and VD Sharma, Saurabh Shukla for NDTV.
And AIMIM has been allowed to celebrate Tipu Jayanti at the controversial Eidgah grounds in Hubli. AIMIM sought permission after Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations were allowed at the Eidgah Maidan in Karnataka's Hubli. The permission was announced by Hubli Mayor. For more on this, we are being joined by my colleague Shrija. Shrija, so now finally there's permission with AIMIM to celebrate Tipu Jayanti.
Well, that's right. In fact, the Hubli Dharwad Municipal Corporation today granted the permission to celebrate Tipu Jayanti to the permission which was sought by overseas AIMIM, and not just Tipu Jayanti but also Kanakadasa Jayanti at Eidgah Maidan in Karnataka's Hubli on November 10th and November 11th. Now, this decision was taken after where AIMIM and several other Dalit organizations had approached the municipal corporation seeking this particular permission for the same. If you clearly remember, back in August, in fact, there was a grand Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations which was held especially at this very ground in Hubli district, and only after that particular move, we understand overseas AIMIM made this particular move. More importantly, the mayor, Iresh Achitagiri, he went on to say that we haven't differentiated between Christmas or Hindus or Muslims for that matter. And he also said that we went out to give that permission only because they had approached us. And now we understand that, also this is to avoid any tense moments, or especially at the Eidgah Maidans in Hubli district of Karnataka. We see several police especially have been deployed at this particular ground to avoid any untoward incidents. And also earlier in August, the Karnataka High Court had allowed Ganesh Chaturthi celebrations to be held at this very Eidgah ground, but they had, especially the Karnataka High Court, had rejected this particular petition, which was filed by another Muslim organization, which they could carry out another celebration, especially at Eidgah Maidan grounds in Bengaluru. But for now, we understand that the mayor has already granted the permission for Tipu Jayanti celebrations to be held at the Eidgah Maidan grounds in Hubli.
Right. Thank you so much, Shrija. And moving on, minor girls were drugged and abused by jailed top Karnataka Seer, the head of the Muruga Mutt, for over 3.5 years. Senior police officials have told NDTV the charge sheet has revealed shocking details.
Shocking details emerging from the charge sheet filed against the most powerful Lingayat Seer, Shivamurti Sharanaru. Allegations made by minor girls who were living in the mutt, which had earlier been brushed under the carpet by both the BJP and the Congress. Top political leaders across the spectrum rallied behind the Seer accused of rape, including B.S. Yediyurappa, the former Chief Minister of Karnataka, who was the first one to give him a clean chit. Today, he changed his stand.
ಶರಣರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಮುರುಘಾ ಶರಣರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಆಘಾತಕಾರಿ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇವೆ.
ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಲಾರದಂತ ಅಕ್ಷಮ್ಯ ಅಪರಾಧವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು ಜಗತ್ತಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುವಂತದ್ದು. ಯಾರು ನಿರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಈ ಕೆಳಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಇಳಿತಾರೆ ಅಂತ. ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಖಂಡಿಸಬೇಕು ಮತ್ತು ಅವರಿಗೆ ತಕ್ಕ ಶಿಕ್ಷೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು.
Considered hugely influential in the Lingayat community, Shivamurti Sharanaru had even initiated Rahul Gandhi into the Lingayat sect in August. The Congress, however, refused to comment, saying the matter was under investigation. Senior police officers confirmed to NDTV that based on the statements recorded of the minor girls, the charge sheet was filed under CRPC sections 164 and 161. The two minor girls fled the Muruga Mutt in Chitradurg and reached the Odanadi NGO in Mysuru on the 26th of August seeking help. Mysuru police registered an FIR on the 27th of August. The arrest was delayed by 5 days because of political pressure. The Seer was arrested after massive protests by civil society on the 1st of September this year. Lingayats make up 17% of Karnataka's population and can greatly influence poll outcomes in over 90 seats in North Karnataka of the state's 224 assembly seats. But some Lingayat leaders say he had already lost considerable clout.
Regarding Muruga Mutt?
Yes.
I don't think there will be any political implications as such. He doesn't have that kind of follow in Karnataka, but he should go behind the bars.
The Seer is presently in the judicial custody till 14th of November. The Chitradurga police have requested through media if there are any more victims, they will have to come forward and lodge a complaint. In Bengaluru with Kumar, Shrija for NDTV.
An official in southern Ukraine's Kherson region has said that the deoccupation of the Kherson region has already begun. These are signals of the Russian army retreating or withdrawing from the Kherson region. Speaking from an undisclosed location, Seer Klan, who is a deputy of the Kherson Regional Council, said that the Russian army was undermining all the bridges in the region. Let's listen in.
Тобто окупанти підривають зараз абсолютно всі мости, які є на правобережній частині Херсонщини. Окупанти готують таким чином собі відхід для того, щоб пригальмувати якраз натиск Збройних сил України. Окупанти сьогодні вже не спостерігають саме в напрямку Береславському районі не спостерігають в Качкарівці, в Миловому, в Нових Каїрах, в Березинському, в Суханові, Червоному Ярі, в П'ятихатках, в Садок. Тобто на сьогоднішній день окупанти покинули ці населені пункти. Офіційної інформації ще немає, але і наявність окупантів в цих населених пунктах немає.
And Mark Zuckerberg's Meta has fired 11,000 employees worldwide. Reports suggest Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg has admitted to its hundreds of executives that he is accountable for the company's missteps and that his over-optimism about growth had led to overstaffing. Meta has been facing economic challenges as its share prices are down 70% year to date. Last month, the quarterly forecast wiped off an additional $80 billion in value, making it $500 billion in Meta's values so far. Mark Zuckerberg has painted a grim outlook of the forecast. Meta joins the list of tech companies that are laying off their employees. Last week, Twitter fired over 50% of their workforce and over 90% employees in India. Microsoft too is expected to cut staff. Apple too has placed a hiring freeze expected to last most of 2023 as economic conditions have grown more challenging. And there has been no Republican wave in the US midterm elections. And for Donald Trump in particular, it has been a bad night, with many of the candidates endorsed by him either losing outright or lagging behind. But perhaps not the best of results for the US as a whole.
In the end, it was not the red wave that many had predicted. The Republicans not doing as well as expected in the US midterm polls. The Democrats doing much better than many had thought. And this is why. Abortion became a major issue. 3 states, California, Vermont and Michigan voted to retain abortion rights on the ballot. Women voters came out in large numbers to support the Democrats. Young people queued up to support the Democrats too. Former President Donald Trump, who's looking at a re-election run in 2024, came in the line of fire by right-wing commentators. Many of the candidates Trump had endorsed either lost or were lagging behind, including those who denied the results of the last presidential election, which Joe Biden won.
We won 200.
But Trump also has serious competition from within now. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis won a second term, bolstering his rise as a potential White House candidate and Republican Party star.
I have only begun to fight. God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you for a historic landslide victory.
What is at stake in these polls is the control of the US Congress. It has been a very tight fight, but so far projections suggest the Republicans will get control of the US House of Representatives, while the Senate may narrowly stay with the Democrats. Democrat John Fetterman won a key Senate battle in Pennsylvania, which flipped the seat from the Republicans. Even though several results are still awaited, what is clear is that the Democrats have been able to ward off a red wave and reduce it to a trickle. This comes as a huge relief to Joe Biden, who will not be a lame duck president for the next 2 years. Maha Siddiqui for NDTV.
And that's all we have in this bulletin. Thank you for watching.